What if one of the most powerful voices of the British invasion grew up in a tiny house with nothing but a cold water tap and an outdoor toilet? That's the story of Alan Clarke, the legendary frontman of the Hollies, whose voice carried some of the greatest pop songs of the 1960s and 70s. From working-class beginnings in Salford to international stardom, Clarke's journey is one of resilience, lifelong friendship, and timeless music. Alan Clarke, born Harold Allan Clarke on April 5, 1942, was raised in post-war England in a crowded terraced house with his parents, siblings, and grandmother. Life was modest, but music was everywhere. Alan's father, a hard-working laborer, instilled in him a sense of determination, while his childhood friend Graham Nash sparked a musical bond that would change both their lives. From their first harmonies in school to their shared love of skiffle and early rock and roll, Clarke and Nash built the foundation of what would become the Hollies. As teenagers, they experimented with guitars, harmonies, and a string of band names before landing on the lineup that would define their careers. By 1963, the Hollies were born, with Clarke on lead vocals, Nash on rhythm guitar, and an ever-evolving team of talented players, including Tony Hicks and Bobby Elliott. Signed to EMI's Parlophone label, their early singles like Searchin' and Stay gave them national recognition. But it was Clarke's powerful voice paired with Nash's harmonies that made their sound unforgettable. Throughout the 1960s, the Hollies became one of the brightest stars of the British invasion. While their peers like the Beatles and the Rolling Stones dominated headlines, the Hollies carved their own lane with clean-cut looks, catchy melodies, and a string of hits. Songs like Just One Look, Here I Go Again, and I'm Alive showcased Clarke's dynamic vocal range, while Bus Stop gave them international success, particularly in America. By the late 60s, tracks like Carrie Ann and King Midas in Reverse revealed a band willing to evolve with the times. But change was inevitable. In 1968, Graham Nash left to form Crosby, Stills and Nash, leaving Clarke as the steady frontman of the group. Instead of faltering, Clarke pushed the Hollies forward. They released one of their most iconic ballads, He Ain't Heavy, He's My Brother, with Elton John on piano, a song that remains one of Clarke's greatest vocal achievements. In 1972, Clarke briefly stepped away from the band to pursue a solo career, releasing several albums. But his return later that year brought even greater success. That same year, Long Cool Woman in a Black Dress stormed the U.S. charts, reaching #2 on the Billboard Hot 100. Clarke's gritty, swamp rock delivery made it stand apart from the rest of the Hollies catalog. Soon after, The Air That I Breathe in 1974 cemented their legacy as masters of both pop and balladry. Though musical tastes shifted in the 1980s, Clarke's voice remained the core of the Hollies' identity. The band's influence earned them induction into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame in 2010, a career highlight Clarke has often said he deeply treasures. A devoted family man, Clarke married his childhood sweetheart Jennifer Bosted in 1964, raising 3 children while balancing the highs and pressures of fame. Even in retirement during the late 1990s, his bond with Graham Nash never faded. In fact, in 2023, the two reunited for Clarke's album, I'll Never Forget, a full-circle moment that echoed the friendship that began on their first day of school. Today, Alan Clarke is remembered as one of the most distinctive voices of British pop. From Bus Stop to Long Cool Woman to He Ain't Heavy, He's My Brother, his voice defined an era and continues to inspire generations. His journey from a humble Salford upbringing to international acclaim isn't just about fame. It's about endurance, friendship, and the kind of music that never grows old. What song will you remember most by the band The Hollies?